This is the exit photographs. It is now 2:15 p.m.
Elevator. forget that the guy still hit the architect. So.
Hi, come on up. Thank you, sir.
Oh, I've got a cab coming. Oh, return at 4:30.
Okay.
That's not that airport. He's not coming back. He's actually taking that search warrant down to So whenever you all leave, you can just close up the doors. Yeah, we will. Okay.
And also here, if you want here.
Taxi here. Yeah. That's fine. Yeah. Well, I truly do believe so. I mean, what are they going to take? But you know, probably the jewels in the top pressure drawer and whatever else. Cash. Wait outside, I think. Taxi to show up.
In any of Mr. Epstein's properties, did you engage in sexual activities with any woman other than when you had three-way sexual activities with Mr. Epstein?
Objective form.
Sorry, can you repeat the question?
At any time in any of Mr. Epstein's properties, did you engage in sexual activities with any woman other than when you had three-way sexual activities with Mr. Epstein?
Same objection.
No.
Other than yourself and the blonde and brunette that you have identified as having been involved in three-way sexual activities, with whom did Mr. Epstein have sexual activities?
Objective form of foundation.
I wasn't aware that he was having sexual activities with anyone when I was with him. Other than myself.
I want to be sure that I'm clear. Is it your testimony that 1990s and 2000s, you were not aware that Mr. Epstein was having sexual activities with anyone other than yourself and the blonde and brunette on those few occasions when they were involved with you?
That is my testimony. That is correct.
Were you ever involved in sexual activities in any of Mr. Epstein's properties other than Palm Beach that included the use of sex toys or any kind of mechanical or other device?
No.
Were you aware of the presence of sex toys or devices used in sexual activities in Mr. Epstein's Palm Beach house?
Objective form and foundation.
No. Not that I recall.
Were you aware that there were sex toys or devices used in sexual activities in Mr. Epstein's New York house?
No.
Were you aware that there were sex toys or devices used in sexual activities in Mr. Epstein's property in the Virgin Islands?
Objective form and foundation.
No.
Were you aware whether or not there were sex toys or devices used in sexual activities in Mr. Epstein's property in the Virgin Islands?
Objective form and foundation.
No.
Do you know whether Mr. Epstein possessed sex toys or devices used in sexual activities?
Objective form and foundation.
No.
Did you ever assist Mr. Epstein in obtaining sex toys or devices used in sexual activities?
Objective form and foundation.
No.
Did Mr. Epstein ever ask you to attempt to obtain or secure people to give him massages that were not professional masseuses?
No.
Do you remember somebody by the name of...
I would have no knowledge. I have no knowledge of what you're asking me.
Did you ever have conversations with anyone that were intended to convince them to engage in sexual activities with Mr. Epstein?
Objective form and foundation.
No.
This has been asked and answered in her previous deposition, by the way.
Did you ever tell anyone that Mr. Epstein was a scout for Victoria's Secret?
I don't recall ever saying that.
Redacted there, and the victim in this case.
So,
Are you, let me ask my question. I've got a question pending right now. Are you testifying that you are unaware of any underage, under the age of 18, females coming to Jeffrey Epstein's home to perform massages?
Object to the form and the foundation.
You need to straddle that question with different for a time zone, because when I was there, when I was present, at the time that I was present, the people that gave Jeffrey, men and women who gave Jeffrey massages were adult, so over the age of 18.
So never in your time at any of Jeffrey Epstein's homes were you present when a female under the age of 18 was there to give Jeffrey Epstein a massage?
Object to the form and foundation.
First of all, as I said, when I was
No,
present...
it's a yes or no answer.
No,
Please
it is
give me-
not a yes
is
or no answer.
You can answer the question in full, but please provide a yes or no as an initial matter.
I cannot answer a yes or no question to that question because it's not bounded by any time and it's not bounded by anything. It's entirely possible that I could have been in a room or even in the vicinity of Palm Beach when somebody came that I would not know. How would I know if somebody was in the house? There's no way I can know.
Were you...
At 17 in Florida. So as far as I'm aware, a professional masseuse showed up for a massage. There is nothing inappropriate or incorrect about that. And your mischaracterization of it, I think, is unfortunate.
How many teenagers did he have that were professional masseuses that worked in his home?
Object to the form and foundation.
How many?
First of all, I'm not aware of teenagers who worked in his home.
Did Jeffrey Epstein have a scheme to recruit underage girls to use them for purposes of sexual massages?
Object to form and foundation.
Can you ask me again, please?
Sure. Did Jeffrey Epstein have a scheme to recruit underage girls to use them for sexual massages?
Object to form and foundation.
Can you ask it a different way?
Did Jeffrey Epstein have a scheme to recruit underage girls for sexual massages?
Object to form and foundation.
If you know.
So, I don't know what you're talking about.
Staff bathroom. Holding cell. Shoe. Entrance, camera, holding cell, entrance for the shoe, officer station, secondary desk, main camera, G tier on top, H tier on bottom. That cage is the law library, what's the law library? L tier on top, M tier on bottom. That's I, K over there. Officer station, L tier. Epstein was in the cell with the light on.
direct view. Camera at the entrance here. Epstein's cell. Shower area for the ship. View from outside the cell. Possible phone jack that was removed. It was removed. Phone jack, phone jack. $15. This would be the cage that Noah stated that she opened, and she stood here while Thomas made his rounds doing feeding. Epstein's view would have been directly off the shoe officer's desk. G tier, H tier, roll library, I, K. G tier. 10 south up there. Going back. Right next to the steps going down. This is the shower for G tier. Shower. The phone jacks would have been here and here. Cameras at the end of the tier and G tier. Come back around. 10 south is up top. That's the camera pointed down to its office station. Shoot counselor. Office. Lieutenant's office. Turn south. Visiting cells. Holding cells. South cells. Staff bathroom, depleted. And south. Be the officer station that we see on camera. View from G tier, coming down, H tier, rec area. What's this area called? Visiting area. There's a shoe visiting area?
Oh, no, this was for like a regular GP unit visiting.
General population?
Yeah, because this is regular GP unit shoe. They just made it into shoes, so they never took the regular visiting one out.
That would be the door leading to the set of cameras next to the elevator for 9.
Was a young artist working at Epstein's property in 1996 when she says Epstein and his partner, Ghislaine Maxwell, raped her. She says she first went to the NYPD and then to the FBI.
It's a whistleblower of a case. I should be honored and congratulated. And instead, I was told, well, that's a lot of money because you weren't even raped. I wasn't raped because I didn't let him rape me. I'm not saying someone being raped is their fault. But I'm saying if Epstein tried to rape you, you could escape unless you were a little girl. Any adult woman could escape, I promise, because I did, okay? I escaped it. And the problem is that Brad's pretending that women have no ability or say in their own lives. Like, we're all just like and everything just happens to us. That's not how women are. That's anti-female. That's anti-feminist. I'm not tolerating it.
Police officers in Palm Beach County, Florida, the Commissioner of the Florida Bureau of Law Enforcement or any of his duly constituted agents to wit Detective Carey, whereas complaint on oath in writing supported by affidavit of a credible witness or witness with Detective Joe Carey, which is attached here to and made part of, has this day been before undersigned by Judge Laura Johnson, Circuit Court Judge for and in Palm Beach County, Florida. Whereas said facts made known to me and considered by me have caused me to certify and find that the facts set forth in said affidavit show that and constitute probable cause for the issuance of this warrant, and the court being satisfied of the existence of said grounds set forth in affidavit.
Yes.
And the laws of the state of Florida have been violated in or on
You do.
premises known as 358 Elbrook Road. in Palm
Let me
Beach,
give you a
Florida.
number.
To reach the premise desired to be searched, begin in the middle span of
Yes.
the Royal Park Bridge, the middle bridge, and travel east on
Okay.
Royal Palm Way approximately 0.6 of a mile until you reach South County Road. At South County Road, make a right or southbound turn and travel approximately 0.8 of a mile to El Brillo Way. At El Brillo Way, make a right or westbound turn and travel approximately 1/10 of a mile to the last house on the south side of El Brillo, clearly marked number 358. The premises desired to be searched is a two-story single-family residence made of CBS construction. The residence is pink in color with white trim and has a white concrete tile roof. The residence has two separate driveway entrances from El Brillo paved in large white tiles. The easternmost driveway is separated by a large white in color concrete wall with black in color numbers 358 clearly displayed from El Brillo and leads to the east side of the residence. On the east side of the residence, there are three single-car garage doors, which are white in color, and the entry door also white in color to the south. Each driveway entrance has a white in color call box, which is fixed to the east side of the driveways. The westernmost driveway leads to the north side of the residence to a large white and colored double door on the first floor. The second story of the north side of the residence shows a small walkway with a white and colored metal railway and leads to three glass jalousie-style doors.
Can you turn the phone off?
On the southeast corner of the residence is a single-story structure made of CBS construction and is white in color with a white concrete tile roof. To enter and search the afore described place and premise together with the yard and curtilage thereof, any and all outbuildings and vehicles thereon, and any persons residing therein, and any persons therein reasonably believed to be connected with said illegal activity. This is a complete description of the residence desired to be searched, including the curtilage attached thereof. Being the premises occupied or under the control of Jeffrey Epstein, white male, date of birth 1/20/53, and there is now being kept in the above described premises certain computers, including electromagnetic, optical, electrochemical, or other high-speed data processing device performing logical, arithmetic, or storage functions. Data storage facilities such as magnetic tape, hard disk, floppy disk, or drum, or CD-ROM, communications facilities directly relating or operating in conjunction with such devices for printing records of data, or records of or data produced in various forms, manuals, documents, or instructional material related to such devices. Computers, personal computers, computer peripherals, modems, computer printers, floppy disk drives, hard disk drives, diskettes, tapes, computer printouts, computer software, computer programs and applications, computer manuals and system documentation, cameras, photographs, negatives, motion pictures, videotapes, magazines, books, and other depictions of minors in sexual activity. Any device or equipment that can be used to transfer images to a computer-readable format. Any written documentation or item containing password or encryption codes. Any notes, ledger, personal phone books, Rolodex, books, and any form of recording data of records and payments, telephone numbers, and names of girls that have frequented the house. Any sexual devices to which was used on witnesses/victims. And any hair fiber, semen, and any other bodily fluid, which is being kept and used in violation of the laws of the state of Florida, to wit, the laws prohibiting sexual activities with certain minors, a second-degree felony, lewd lascivious molestation, the second-degree felony. Now therefore, you or either of you are hereby commanded with proper necessary assistance in the name of the state of Florida in the daytime or in the nighttime or on Sunday to forthwith search the said premises herein before specified for the property specified, and if the same or any part thereof shall be found in said premises, then you will authorize and command to seize the same, to bring the property and any person arrested in connection therewith before the magistrate or any court having jurisdictions of the offense, to be dealt with according to the law, and forthwith make return of your doings upon execution of this warrant, which you are hereby commanded to execute as the law directs within 10 days from the date thereof. You are further commanded, in the event that you seize any of the said property herein described, to make up at the time of place and seizure a full, true, itemized list and inventory of all items seized and taken in duplicate signed by you, and to then and there give and deliver the said duplicate copy thereof to the person from whom possession shall be taken. If taken from the possession of anyone together with a duplicate of this warrant, and if not taken from the possession of anyone, then to any person in charge of said premises, and in the absence of any such person, to leave the same on the premises. The original of this warrant, together with the original inventory, shall be returned and filed with the clerk of court, as stated above, within 10 days of the issuance of this warrant. Further, any property seized or taken shall be impounded for the use of evidence at any trial or any criminal penal cause growing out of or having or possession of said property. Witness my hand and sealed this 18th day of October, AD 2005. Judge Laura Johnson of the Circuit Court, 15th Judicial Circuit, in and for Palm Beach County, Florida. Okay? This is your copy. When we are concluded, I will leave a list of what items were taken. Okay? I would ask that you don't answer your telephone. I know that the gentleman had was having a conversation with Mr. Epstein at the time. So I'm sure he's trying to call to find out what's going on. He will be told what was going on as soon as we're done. Okay?
Stay somewhere.
Just stay local here. Okay. Stay local right here.
You can go. Would you like to go back there? Walk around back. Call me when you're done.
Come on in.
How are you?
Come on in. Good. You have the documents
Yeah,
with you?
I have it. I have a friend over there. I just want to see that you have everything, so maybe we can.
Absolutely. You have friend right out here?
Yeah, no, he's in the car.
Okay, I just want to talk to you though.
No. He's not going to come in. I just.
Okay. All right, let me grab it. I'll show you. You're a smart man. I don't blame you one bit.
You know Brad long time?
Yeah, I've done some work on and off with the firm. And he's not my only client.
Yeah, this is a very, very sensitive and crucial information that it wouldn't get otherwise.
Yeah, but so here. I'll let you count it when we're all done.
Okay. So I just want to see that.
But yeah, that's all. There's thousands, under here's fives. Next one's fives. I'll show you wrappers. Those are fives. And it goes underneath, there's another one. Tens. Okay?
I'm going to give you this. Let me explain what I mean. I'm going to give you.
Give me 1 second. Let me put this back before we talk.
Okay. This is because I'm not going to contact Brad again. Okay? I mean, if I want to call him, another. Okay. I highlight in this book that I have access, crucial information. I put it into my handwriting. So, but of course, it's not my name, nothing there. But this is to help Brad. So you need to point these things to him. And also, I compile a list of the people, a list of the girls in Palm Beach that were going when I was household manager. Okay, but what I took my time to organize this with stickers and I see dates. Now, this book, it was Jeffrey Epstein Properties, but because I'm the manager, I have all the cards. They have to have all these planes they were supposed to have it. So I'm not stealing anything. That was my tool of the trade. So this is the information that I'm giving to him, but we have to point out to Brad. I went out of my way to point it out who's who. Beyond that, I don't want them to call me, I wanted to remember this. If you want to write it down, this lady lawyer who was on my left next to Brad, she asked me if I know who was the computer whiz. We used to have Citrix, all these properties all over the world. He used to be the only one having access to his computer. Probably before they now they took his hard drives, I don't know. But if you contact and they subpoena this guy, he has all the information.
Do me a favor, go get the documents, bring them in here, we're going to lay them out on the table, we're going to look at everything.
Okay.
I've got questions from Brad I need to ask you.
Okay.
That way you don't ever have to worry about meeting Brad again, have to talk to Brad again.
All right.
We'll get that squared away, okay?
All right. the real McCoy. This, they call it burn all of this, okay?
They burn this, is that what you said?
Yeah, they make it disappear. I take two because, and then I give one to Detective Ricardo, and he said he doesn't have it, but he probably, I don't know what it is, but anyway, here is all the, let me just highlight this for you. But I was more interested in this, Massage, Florida. All the phone numbers of the girls, and when I had the subpoena, they had my writing, they went to the garbage to find these records. Some of these girls, of course, they asked me, do you know? I said, no, or yes, but here is the evidence of names, last names, area codes, okay.
Who created this book?
Epstein himself.
This book was made by Epstein?
All his Mercedes, all his claims, they were supposed to have this. He made all of these disappear.
So he had a copy of these for everywhere.
Yeah.
Everywhere he was.
Of course, he said, I don't have it. Now, can I show you something?
Absolutely.
This is one by one. For instance, he was the scout to bring younger Epstein. That's what he said. How did you know? Because he called me as I ever had to do. With him, yes, all the time. Okay, now.
So you knew he was having sex with these girls?
No, he was not involved. He would leave this girl, he would everything would operate a plane, he would back to Paris.
No, I'm talking about Epstein.
Yeah.
You knew Epstein was having sex with these girls, this guy that you
I didn't see them, but of course you're an adult. I have two girls, all the Luella and the Gardner we saw, and we looked the other way because once after he left the house we would find condoms and very rare, but I went through these 2 hours of testimony, you know.
Okay.
But this is the people that I couldn't say it in front of the camera. I know because I have these documents at home. Because this is the agreement that I have with Brad. He doesn't know this. He cannot be tell anybody that whoever give you this, I don't know.
Well, where exactly did you find that?
This was in my desk. I have let me explain. Epstein owned a house all over Palm Beach, Paris, New York, Sorrel Ranch in New Mexico, the islands. Okay. He provided for my house. My kitchen is 3 times bigger than this, and I have a desk there. This and other books that I have information, but this was supposed to go. I have to call the pilot. I have it there, and also my computer, but just in case of power failure, he was very organized. So I was supposed to be this to every plane and everything. So,
how did you keep that from getting destroyed?
Because, okay, good question. One day I took the Suburban, there were 2 Suburbans, identical for the staff. One had OnStar, the other one didn't have it or something. And Epstein said, oh, Alfredo, you took the one I like, and he used the excuse because he probably knew that I knew a lot of things. So he let me go. He paid me 3 months after that, no problem, good recommendation, whatever it is, but he knew already that I didn't have a clue, actually. You know, that he was an investigation. He didn't investigate. Clue of that is that when the crew, they show me when I was subpoenaed with Brad, they showed a statement, bank statements with my signature because I said, Alfredo, give me $30,000. Go to Colonial Bank and get cash. My signature, they retrieved those from the bank and also the notes from the phone, from the garbage. The FBI was already telling him. I didn't know that.
The FBI was telling you?
The FBI was already involved with this. After the Palm Beach Police Department said we couldn't find anything about Epstein. Of course, Palm Beach was bought out or something. The FBI got involved because these girls, they came from out of state, from out of the country. So FBI got involved. So I saw them both. Palm Beach Police Department, they asked me to subpoena, and I said, how did it work? Yes, but they don't have nothing of this.
Now, you were interviewed by the FBI?
Yeah.
And because I remember you telling me that on the phone. How come you didn't tell them about that
No, because they didn't ask me. Do you have any phone numbers? I don't have it.
She lied to him, essentially.
Yeah, because my wife told me this. Look at this. Say, Alfredo, why don't you say to Brad? We're right now, let me explain this. We're just about to lose the house in Miami. And I said to Brad, listen, help me and I provide you with the key. Why can you provide me? I have it. Do you have this number? Yes, I do. Yes, I do. But help me out, and this is what we can do.
The only reason I'm asking these questions is not because I'm curious by any means. It's I have to verify that that's a lot of money in there. And that the money that I'm giving you, that this stuff is real. And you didn't just go into a phone book and make a bunch of names. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not that I don't trust you, but my job is to vet out any sort of...
Well, this... you want to call some numbers? I don't know.
No, I don't need to call
but anyway, let me go on and you will see how deep is this, okay?
Yeah.
Okay, so we have Jean-Luc Brunel. So here I have another thing. Her Highness Duchess of York, personal friend of Epstein. All the time, is Jeff in the house? I don't think she was involved, but look who called to the house. It's in the papers with my signature, okay? All right. You will see a lot of important people here, but let me just show you the personal secretary of Epstein. Her address in New York, emails, all of this they asked me, you know, how can I remember? That it was his kid. Okay. Ghislaine Maxwell was his former companion, very powerful lady from England. She would go to the former Eastern countries in Europe and find girls for Epstein. And I knew that because I went with my wife. They used to have a computer so powerful, they used to have a water radiator to cool the computer because they used to download pictures like that so fast. Girls, she has nice breasts, she has this and that.
You saw that stuff?
Yeah.
On the computers and pictures of the girls? When they naked and stuff like that?
Yeah, I testified that.
You testified that?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Okay.
Brad knows about it. But I couldn't prove that. That's why they need the guy that fixed the Citrix systems. He lives in Ohio. I'm going to him. Okay? Macho. Okay. They asked me if I knew the guys who ran his state in Manhattan. I said, I know it's Joseph and Florina. I don't remember this. Here, Joseph and Florina were a domestic managing couple for Ghislaine Maxwell. Okay, you can ask them. They're probably there. They're still there. There are a couple of Filipinos. Okay. Massage, California. I didn't personally knew that this girl was coming from California. These are the numbers. Okay,
those are those are California numbers.
Yeah.
A lot of these are just
no. But of course. But this is you have to think about this. This information is only for Epstein, his associates, very close associates.
Right.
You know?
So those are mostly underage girls. Those numbers.
They were very young. Let me. You gotta know this. You have to know this. My wife and I, we used to own a small coffee shop, mom and pop operation, and we wanted to buy the property because at that time we were asking $300,000 conversion. So I showed the papers to Mr. Epstein to help me. He said, Mr. Epstein, can you help me? You know anybody that can give me money? And he said, call this person. So I called this person, beautiful girl, 28 years old, and I said, did Jeffrey in town? Of course, he was very eager to see him. So in no time, he showed up in the manager. I didn't put him on throwing it out. So I escorted to the outside of the house, and we sat in the courtyard, had a drink, and she told me, Alfredo, I'm going to need your social security to run your record. Okay, so we met for 10, 15 minutes. I was escorting out, and he saw her. And he said, hey, let's say, Courtney, whatever it is. Hi, Jeffrey, boom, they hug, blah, blah, blah. Okay, thank you, boom. She goes, Mr. Epstein calls me. Alfredo, come to my office, please. How did you dare to bring her to my house? Mr. Epstein, you gave me her number. Yeah, I didn't tell you. I don't want to see her again. Because after 22 years old and on, he doesn't want any girls. He's diseased, he is sick.
So you didn't like the fact that she was there because she was an adult?
Yes, exactly.
Gotcha.
So all the girls, all we used to have in the refrigerator was ice cream for the girls, cereal and skim milk. Okay, and these notes, David the chef, everybody we have. Now, of course, I was the boss, so I had to know these things.
Sure.
Okay. So massage parties. Some of these they were in the house in Palm Beach. Okay, but there's the lawyers, they want to see connections between these phone numbers and some of these girls that they're suing, because they find these numbers, one of the biggest girls suing, they will say, oh my God, they put 1 and 2, okay? Okay. Alberto Pinto is one of the most famous architects in the world. He designed his house in Paris. Call me all the time, all his numbers, very important people. Balson Cotrin, he was my colleague, house manager of the property in Paris. They asked me that question in the subpoena. I didn't have it. There it is. Okay? Let me go on. Sorry, I'm kind of nervous. But
No, don't be nervous.
But,
We're going to take our time and go through
Right.
this one thing at a time.
all right. Another thing Brad wants to know, massage in the island. Little St.
That's
James.
private island?
Yeah, it's by Google, it's called Little St. James, but he renamed the island Little St. Jeff because of Jeffrey Epstein. Massage Island. I don't know if any of these girls that came.
It's got guys on there too, huh?
Yeah, but you know.
You like boys too, or just girls?
No, I never saw guys here, but probably in some other places, probably he used male. Okay. Now, in Manhattan, when any of the employees, females or males, were supposed to stay for business, he owned a building, apartment building, empty, only for his models. There it is. I put apartment on this, my handwriting. Okay?
For his models, you mean the girls that he...
Exactly. Used to stay there, and her friends, and the way he operates is like young looking, so he would be the young looking, younger girls will be comfortable with versus a 55-year-old guy.
Gotcha.
So they used to stay in the other apartment. All the amenities, used to take them and entertainment in the best restaurants, Aurora, and whatever, Upper East Side, very expensive. Okay? She's the mother of the kid that everybody asks me, who is this kid? There is a girl, in the second floor, she's showing a naked chick, and says, I don't know. Epstein was the grandfather of how do you say? Padrino? That's it.
Grandfather?
No. It's like
Godfather?
Godfather. Epstein is the godfather. So he has these several pictures, and everybody's disgusted because they think that this guy is using his own kids to use pornography inside the house. Eva, very tall, she's in her mid-40s. She's still very attractive, married to a millionaire. She used to be in the house, so this is the mother, former model, and the mother of the kid. Okay. Ehud Barak, I took him. Ehud Barak, former Prime Minister of Israel, he flew in 2003. The Secret Service was there a couple of nights, and I gotta tell you this. It was one of Epstein's girlfriend. He said, take to Miami and you kept the Mercedes for the weekend. Very good, Mr. Epstein, thank you. So he took off. He takes off, and the Secret Service said, Alfredo, they were all attracted by the girls. So I said, I opened the road for you. So we came 95 miles an hour from Palm Beach to Miami. That type of things, that was normal. I mean, if back then I would say to somebody, I'm doing this, I say, yeah, sure, you're a liar.
Right.
It was, fantastic things. Only because the girls. So Ehud Barak, very important guy. Here's another one. Michel Campos was a secretary that he was disgruntled because he was fired for some other reason. You can have as a witness. She will testify very, very, I put fired.
What does she know about?
Oh, she knows everything. She's Epstein has a personal secretary, used to have and everything. But the secretary that knows everything, the big picture is or she's Mr. Epstein. Okay? So if you call her, she will say, well, you know, Leon Black used to call the house, the owner of Apollo Management, big, a lot of money. Okay. Alan Dershowitz, they asked me, do you know Mr. Dershowitz? Yes, he was in the house. What kind of, he drink wine. Where did he sit? By the pool, with the girl. Do you know our phone numbers? No. I know he said.
Who asked you this?
In court, in the deposition.
Oh, okay, the attorney's asked you this.
Yeah.
Okay.
The lady, there was a lady, she asked me, she was very interested about Dershowitz, and I said, I don't know, because that particular moment I have to look for the reference to see, you know, so, but anyway, here it is. I have his card too. He was at the house several times. Epstein.
Do you ever see any people doing anything bad at the house?
No, Dershowitz, because let's say he used to go and take the son and has a glass of wine, the son, and upstairs it was hanky-panky. But he was, to be honest with you, I never seen him upset. All this thing, around the pool they were naked, or topless, sometimes completely
These
naked.
young girls?
Yeah.
You saw that with your own eyes?
Oh yeah, that too. And everybody knows the neighbors, you know. I'm gonna give the number for Joe Piscopo. He's Joe
Piscopo?
No, that's an actor, no. His name, the neighbor, he saw me doing a lot of times. Alfredo, again, the crazy naked girl. He's still employed at 3. Wait a second, I have it here. The girl who used to come to the house and clean the pool, she's Alfredo, I'm coming tomorrow. What happened to how naked Alfredo, you know? So, it is...
Yeah,
so, yeah, exactly. Now, again, in Palm Beach, he's not the only one doing this, but he was more than that.
Right.
Alan Dershowitz, Jeffrey Epstein portables, all the phone numbers, his brother, okay, Eric Janney, he's the lawyer, he used to stay in my house, in the staff house. He was there for fixing problems, sometimes a girl and this and that. Anything that has to do with the law, they will take care of John-Luc, also recruiting. I put the arrows of the phone that I remember, and some are here. They know. I know those numbers when they call to the house. Okay, so it's a good reference there. Okay. Senator George Mitchell. Okay, every day he's Epstein is Democrat, so he was asking for money all the time. Now this is a very important one. Leslie Wexner, he was Jeffrey Epstein's boss. He owns a limited Victoria's Secret big bucks.
Right.
3 times more than Epstein.
Wow.
And NA Properties in Ohio, I used to call for my insurance, New Albany, Ohio. They asked me about the thing, and I said, I didn't know. There it is. Address, phone number.
When you say they, you gotta clarify, was this the
lawyers, the other lawyers,
the FBI,
No, the FBI, no, the FBI didn't know nothing. Nothing. The FBI just went through the files of Palm Beach Police Department, and they didn't subpoena me. We sit down in a coffee shop in Palm Beach, and we sit down there in a suit and tie, and a gentleman and a lady, college graduate, super educated people. Unbelievable they were. If they didn't tell you, they don't show you the ID, you cannot tell they're FBI guys. Young guys, good looking. So they asked me the same thing. How long did you work there? And I said, well, you're asking the same questions at Palm Beach Police Department. And they said to me, well, now, Alfredo, this is in our hands because it's beyond state borders. You know, because he knows
he was traveling.
Exactly, because he brings her from Paris, from the island. As a matter of fact, I used to go to the international terminal when they came from the island instead of the other jet aviation. So there is, okay.
But you had this book
All the time.
the whole time.
I was supposed to have, let's say I'm on the road, this was my Bible, you know, because
Yeah,
I don't have the computer with me. Now,
How come they didn't take that away from you when they were burning all the books?
One Sunday, when my last time I was there, Mrs. Maxwell just bought a new Mercedes. Alfredo, can you take me that Mercedes, brand new, buy two, it was 66, 65. Can you take it to Miami, to the private aviation on Northwest 36? Yeah, no problem, man. And thank you, blah, 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 blah. They were trying to live in good terms with me because they want to talk too much. So I took a couple of these with me. You know, I said, there were so many, but they all, you know, now here I go to the main thing. This is the guy, the computer guys that knows Citrix. He used to fly in Epstein's or private or the commercial and fix the computers. Okay, Tim Newcomb.
Was this the guy that erased the hard drives?
This is the guy.
Okay.
Okay. Nobody else was supposed to touch those computers. They have triple firewalls, and the phone company also had a special guy. I'm going to tell you who it was. I mean, the phone company at that time was, it's not Bell, it's a small company, but he was very particular of nobody else. I used to have the people, and they were filling this page, the contractors who was allowed to stay on Epstein's property. John Cassidy, AC, and so on, you know. If you hire somebody, I would be fired in 2 seconds.
But back to the computers, let's talk about this.
Yeah.
Did you ever see anything on those computers? Any images of girls? Or
Exactly, I saw it.
You saw?
Remember I told you that there was, Ghislaine Maxwell had an office under the stairs next to the kitchen. There's the computer who was a radiator with water. First time in my life I saw that. Because they used to download pictures like this, just like that.
What kind of pictures?
Naked girls from Sweden, from Romania, from Czechoslovakia, from Brazil, from
All
Colombia.
minors? All young girls?
Very young, very young.
Like when you say very young,
The teenagers, they can have braces, most of them.
younger than that though?
Yeah.
And now, so this guy from Citrix, he erased all those images.
I'm assuming.
You're supposed to-
Yeah, because
there.
but this lady attorney asked me, do you know who's the guy who fixed the computers? I said, I don't remember his name. But he said it is. He's labeled. Okay? So, my head spins every time I
A
go
lot of
on.
information,
It's going to take me a few minutes. What was that?
We heard Citrix was the last name you
Yeah,
wrote.
exactly where Citrix. Rivera County. George Smith, okay, Citrix, okay? It's labeled right there. Okay, Doug Shadow, the architect, he was in the house, he knew a lot of things about the house. He can be subpoenaed, and he was with me all the time. That's a simple guy, but you know.
Right.
Yeah, okay? And Caroline Stark, she used to call to the house. She was friend with some very young friends. I don't know what's their role, but I just happened to, when I was looking through this book, and I said, wait a minute, I took messages from so-and-so, they said friend of Carolina. Carolina Stark, and underneath here says Krista's friend. Okay? I'm pretty sure she can be a very important. Of course, Donald Trump, I know that they subpoenaed him. Larry Vysotsky was chief pilot, super nice guy. I'm sorry it's between this, but he knew a lot of things. He would buy cars for Epstein. Sometimes in the absence of Epstein or his lawyer, his Alfredo, bring to Suburbans and one Mercedes. I'm going to post with the 727 inside the hangar. We're going to put a red carpet. We coordinate that type of thing. Super guy. He lives in Singer Island. Now I know that they subpoenaed him, and I said we didn't know the ages and this and that. But okay, there it is. Abigail Westner, Leslie Westner's wife. Okay, all these numbers, they were I'm pretty sure they are recorded in some way because he used to call almost every day, you know. Very powerful people, but here's in, I don't know, Colorado, London, Georgia. You know, this address is where they filmed Gone with the Wind.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he bought that mansion. Leslie Westner, the Limited Inc. This is in Columbus, right? I don't know, I have my glasses. White House, this is the real White House in Pennsylvania Avenue. Okay. Jeffrey Epstein's in New York. Okay, all his phone number. Okay. These persons they used to call constantly. I don't know what they were in the inner circle. They're doing dirty work for him. So I highlight those things for him, for Brad. Lynn Fontanilla and Jojo Fontanilla, another couple from the Philippines. They ran the house for Epstein.
Okay.
Okay.
The one in New York?
Yeah, and it says here, AKA, also known as Rosalind and Luciano.
Okay.
Tom Sawyer, Pat, he fixed the phones. Nobody else. Telephones, Barbara White. Okay?
Gotcha.
Massage, United Kingdom. Again, this is a different house, but a different country, but I'm pretty sure some of these, they will find connections with the girls. Ghislaine Maxwell, phone numbers and address in London. Okay, Palm Beach, 140, and I have more here. All these girls, 60% of these phones are in the lawsuits right now. So it's very, if you show this in court, you know, I don't know, they're going to hurt you.
60% are, so there's 40,
Yeah.
you say 40% of those numbers are unknown to the police or to
because
attorneys. Gotcha.
Okay. And all these numbers, one way, at least twice, they contact El Brelo way. If you subpoena the records, you will put one-on-one. They call for, you know, plus my taking the signature of a message to say, well, you've been in the house. It's hard to deny that. Okay, this was my private phone number. Okay, I put a photo of this, and Luella was my and this is the email that all the email used to get to this Palm Beach manager at earthlink.net.
Okay.
Michael and Sally, 8 people before me. There were a lot of people in and out because it requires a special kind of people too. Mike Pezzulo is the neighbor. He says, El Brillo neighbor. He knows a lot of things. He saw me on the street. We used to talk constantly. He used to come to the house. He flew to the island with Epstein one time to help over there. So, all right. Alan Stopek, landscape architect. He was in the house, but you know, again, critical witness. Jeffrey Epstein, Sorrel Ranch. This is in New Mexico. This is the biggest ranch in New Mexico. He was related to Bill Richards, governor of New Mexico. Okay, so Massage, New Mexico.
Those are all girls from New Mexico?
These are, yeah, all of these.
Those are the girls' numbers, or these are girls' numbers?
No, all of these to here. Okay. This is oh yeah, there's more here. Yeah, you're right. Now, I don't know this because I never interacted with New Mexico. Okay?
Right.
Okay, Jerome, I used to pay him. He was the gardener. He's a black guy from Haiti. You know, laid back, but you know, you ask him, he will say the truth. A Christian guy. Okay.
What is this?
Okay, now this is notes that I took from my notes, little things that they were attached. Some of this, they were they asked me if I know the Sherry Lynch,
Where did you get these names and numbers from?
I used to have loose papers, you know, sometimes notes to myself. Please pay $500. I have all the time cash with me. In the house, we used to have a safe with $30,000-$40,000. I don't know at all. Okay, the handgun that was to be in Epstein's house when he's in the house. When he flies away, put it back into the safe. And these type of things. And I used to handle cash account, checking account, and the credit card for the gas for all these vehicles. money was like nothing. Alfredo gave me 30,000. Go to the bank and I see the envelope in the trash box. Nothing.
Unreal. Was that the same thing?
Okay, no. This is something this lady attorney asked me if I know his email addresses, and here they are. Jeffrey at mindspring.com in Palm Beach. gproject@yahoo.com in New York. Sorrow Ranch at AOL.com in New Mexico. Tim Newcomb, Citrix System Programmer, in-house. This is, I
Just a
put it
computer guy.
Yeah. Charlie Palmer, he used to be a chef in New York. He used to cook in the house, and he knows about if you subpoena this guy, he knows what's going on in the house. Joe Pagano is a chef also from Aspen. He used to go and cook for him. Now this is another one. Christopher is a French guy. He used to work in jet aviation, and whenever I needed some extra people moving cars, he was always available. He wanted to have my job, so he was 2-3 years before me, so he knew a lot of things.
Gotcha.
Secret Service personnel escorting Mr. Barak Ehud, former Prime Minister of Israel, on Jeffrey Epstein plane. I don't know who was the Secret Service, but I'm pretty sure they can say that we were in Palm Beach and such, and not with Epstein.
What went on that plane? How's that valuable?
Because here, Mr. Epstein says, Mr. Barak, I'll fly you to New York. And some of the girls that came along the way, very private plane.
Would be on the plane?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you're thinking about a former head of state.
With these young girls?
Yeah, and I told this Brad, it's you can bring this guy down at no time.
All right. What else?
All right. Jean-Luc Brunel, a scout for young females, career models. This is a phone number that I don't think is in the book. David Copperfield, a magician, this phone number.
What's up with that?
He was in the house performing tricks, and if you subpoena him, he will say, well, they were his age or not. I'm pretty sure he's an important witness.
Okay.
Now, they were not naked when he was there, but I served him dinner,
Yeah.
Eva Anderson, former model and mother of the naked picture, is Eva Dubin, that's married to Anderson. Okay, this is the phone number. David Cook, I lost contact with him. He was the chef in Palm Beach. They used to fly with Epstein when I was in Palm Beach, 2004-2005. Witness, interacted and chat daily with underage girls.
Gotcha.
This I compiled for Brad.
So that's pretty much everything.
This is it.
All right, I just have a couple questions I need to go over from Brad. Just to reiterate, how'd you know what was going on with the girls? You see them naked in the house, or?
Well, first, the activity starts with a phone call. Usually was the ones Alfredo, and there were going to be 3 girls. And Nicole, Joanne, I need 2 massage tables. So I said, it was collapsible. So we used to run, put, and then disappear, because everything was supposed to be done, but we are not supposed to be seen in second floor. And when they leave, they used to go out to comedy shops or ice cream parlors or movies, a lot of movies, because it was babies, ice cream and comedy and movies, nothing else in the house. And actually they went to everybody else cleaning the house. Hilda, I found this is gonna be trick for him. So when they leave, we used to know that the disarray, the vibrators, screamers on the floor, there's no massage there, I mean, sex toys, all that.
So you used to see the sex toys and stuff like that?
Yeah.
Because I read something in some of the police reports that Brad had in the files. You were in charge of cleaning some of these sex toys for him?
Yeah, everything is cleaners, okay? Francis Pedron.
Okay.
He was in the house years before me. And when Epstein would leave the house, I would call him. He would come with an army of cleaners from top to bottom. And they will find condoms. They will find, this is another detail.
After having these girls in the house?
Okay. I'm sorry, what was your question?
I just have a list of questions here. just to correlate with this information that you're giving me, how long ago was it that you were interviewed when you were subpoenaed? When was that?
Okay, the first time I was subpoenaed from Palm Beach Police Department, Palm Beach Court, that was 2006, I think.
All right. So what about the FBI?
The FBI, a year after that.
A year after that?
Yeah, I was working for Mrs.
And you told me about the computer that had all the images on it. You said that was downstairs?
Downstairs, yeah, next to the kitchen.
Next to the kitchen?
Yeah,
So was that password protected?
I don't believe so.
So you could just go on there and see whatever?
I just turn it on, and you know.
And Epstein would sit at that computer?
And actually, yes. You know why I went to that computer? It's not because I was trying, did something where I'm not supposed to. We lost power. And my computer was a shitty one, excuse me, in the staff house. So I went to the main house. I needed to send some information after the hurricane or something. Mm-hmm. So I had a camera, take the camera, download it, and send the camera to Mr. Epstein, wherever it was. So this computer was working. And one day, my wife came to Palm Beach, and I said, "You want to see something?" And we saw the pictures here from.
Did you ever see any email addresses for the girls?
They are crawling in those computers.
If they haven't been wiped out by that guy, right? Who is,
something interesting here. Vicky, and there's a Virginia here, as his parents. Now, son, can you look mom and parents?
Yeah.
These are very young girls. Why you have your parents' phone number next to it?
Circle that for me, wait a minute.
I just put that type of thing highlighted, but you will see that quiet
circle for me, though, so I know so much stuff again. There you go.
And there's another one. You will see parents there. You come to think, mom, Amber, mom, and they told mom, I'm in school. Now this is another one. Came to the house at 8:30 one night. I was coming from public with my groceries, and I saw a shitty car on the driveway, and I called the police. I went over there, and we came to the police, and I said, "Hello, police, let me see some ID." And I didn't know there was a report, and the police said these people are not Masons, and they're young people trying to get sex. And he says Carolina house. So he was already listed on Epstein's private book.
Gotcha.
Okay. I'm trying to see if there's another Virginia here. What's the last name you said?
If you don't know,
No, it doesn't ring a bell. I'm sorry.
The only other question I have for you is, do you know if Epstein had any hidden cameras in the house?
Yes.
He did?
Yeah.
Where were the hidden cameras at?
One in the garage, and one, this is his bed, and he used to have an alarm clock, and was always the shutters that were closed. He was crazy about somebody peeking, and this would project the time on the wall at night, and in there was a camera.
And what did he do with the videos? You don't know?
No.
But how did you know he had a video camera there?
I saw it on the internet. The police discovered those cameras.
Oh, really? Alright. But you don't know where any of that stuff would be or anything?
You know, if you contact the secrets guy, you can subpoena him and he cannot lie. Because there's some records that they will say, even if you erase them, I know a computerized will say they're somewhere in the memory you can retrieve. Hopefully,
Okay.
And if he will tell the truth, he will say, yes, I was supposed to be doing this and that.
Anything else you think might be helpful that you didn't tell anybody about before?
Call me. Okay, you know my phone number. But I will hate to be in court or they say, is this your handwriting, please? I don't know who's going to handle this, but it doesn't have my name. It's my writing, but I just want to put this behind it and let's help each other.
All right, let me get you your money, buddy.
Okay, here. You want to take this?
Yeah, just leave it right there for now. I'll get your money. You can count it if you want. might as well give you this bag to take with you. You can't walk out of here with this kind of cash. Go ahead and count it, and while you're counting it, I'm going to call Brad and see if he has any additional questions real quick before I let you go.
May consider to be unusual or overly aggressive.
Objection, Thorne.
True?
Depends on your point of view.
That's what I mean. Everyone has a different point of view about sex and what may be considered typical sexual activity for someone. Someone else may consider that's a bit adventurous. True?
Yes.
Right. And I'm not trying to make you a sex expert here. So. Also, I assume that when you've been in CVS or Walgreens, and for that matter, Publix or even Winn-Dixie, I assume that I don't want to assume anything. You ever been in an aisle where you've seen condoms being sold?
Yes.
Okay, and where lubricants are being sold?
Yes.
All right. And as well, massage oils and other types of oils actually are sold in those kinds of stores?
Yes.
All right. And they're available so that someone walking through Walgreens or Publix or CVS could actually take it off the shelf, put it in their cart, go up and pay for it, and take it home?
Yes.
All right. In the photographs that you talked about, and if I understood you correctly, at least during the time that you were there, Mr. Rodriguez, in 04 and 05, there were, you said that there were, I think you said downstairs, and I'm talking about really from the kitchen area up the back stairway, or what would be the kitchen stairway to the upper floor. There was, I think you said, but correct me if I'm wrong, please, that you don't recall seeing there being any pictures or photographs of any nude women. Is that correct?
There were not nude women in the staircase.
That's all I'm talking about right now. In that area, you never saw any pictures or photographs, paintings, any type of depiction of a nude woman?
No.
On that staircase going upstairs, correct?
Correct.
Right. And I think you said downstairs you saw a picture of, the only picture that you saw of a younger child that displayed some form of, I don't want to say nudity because it's probably not that, but of some portion of their body that was exposed, and I think you described it as her cheek. And by that you mean
upstairs.
That's upstairs.
Upstairs.
And that was a picture where someone, it looked like, was pulling on their swimsuit.
Yes.
Did you ever remember seeing the old copper tone?
Yes.
Let me ask I know you know what this is. Have you ever seen the old copper tone commercials and the billboards that actually used to be plastered all over, certainly Florida and other places where there's a cute little girl who appears to be 2, 3, 4 years old, and someone's pulling down at least a portion of her swimsuit, so she's exposing, or a small portion of her cheek is exposed?
Yes.
Okay. Is that what the picture of the young girl looked like? That is Mr. Epstein's got?
More or less, yes.
All right. And downstairs in the kitchen, were there any pictures of women in any stage of undress?
No.
And then I think you said as you walk upstairs, or as you walked up the stairway from the kitchen at the top of the landing, and I think you described it as a foyer?
Yes.
Okay, but it's really the landing, the upstairs landing?
Yes.
I think you said that there was a 3x5 picture or pictures?
Yes.
Of women in some stage of undress?
Yes.
Okay. How many, and when you say 3x5, I assume you meant 3 feet?
3 feet.
By 5 feet, so they're
Yes.
large. Were they photographs?
Yes, they were photographs.
And I think you also told us that you didn't recognize who those people were. Is that correct?
I knew this particular girl because...
Okay, and is that the picture you're talking about?
This is the picture I'm talking about.
Okay, and that was a 3x5?
Yes.
All right. Was there, and the only thing that you could see was a portion that is of her, other than, say, her waist or her shoulders or her arms or something, that's one where you could see kind of like the copper tone commercial, the picture of her cheek?
Yes, her part of her buttocks.
Okay. And was there another picture at the top of the foyer, large one, or is that the only one that you can recall?
And there were two of the same girl in the different poses.
But this showed the same thing?
Yes.
Okay. As you walked through into, then if I understood it correctly, you go to pretty much to the end of the hallway, and then you go through another small vestibule double doors.
Yes.
2 sets of double doors. And as you go straight ahead, then you make a left around the bed, and then you end up in the bathroom.
Yes.
Right. In the bathroom or in that location, were there any pictures of any women in any stage of undress?
Yes.
All right. And were any of those pictures, did they involve, or were they of any of the girls that have been described as women who came over to give purportedly to give Mr. Epstein a massage?
Yes.
Okay. And do you remember who any of the names of any of those people were?
No, sir.
Okay. And the pictures you saw, where were they located?
Inside his closet,
right.
The walk-in closet.
Okay. And those pictures, and was it, I think you called it a mosaic?
Yes.
Right. And of the mosaic, approximately how many pictures were in the mosaic?
16 or 20.
Okay, and of those pictures, how many did you recognize?
By 3 or 4.
And were they, as to who those people were, you don't know, you just recognized 3 or 4 of them?
Mr. Epstein when he was younger, and then different girlfriends, but I didn't recognize except the ones.
Okay, and you said 3 or 4 of those were pictures of the girls who came over to give the massage?
Yes.
Okay, and but as to who those girls were, you don't know, as you sit here today. All right, and as to what their ages were, you don't know?
No, sir.
That's correct?
That's correct.
And as to what they depicted in the photographs of the girls, were they in different stages of undress?
Yes.
Was everyone undressed to some degree? That is, they were described as nudes, or at least the questions have asked, were these people nude? Were they actually nude, or were they, someone may have had their top off? And
there were 2 girls completely naked in a shower.
Okay.
In a sexual act.
And is that the one that when Mrs. Zell asked you questions, that's one of the photographs that you were talking about?
No, sir.
Okay, that was a different one. Okay. And in the mosaic that you saw, where you saw 2 girls involved in a sexual act, do you know where that photograph was taken?
I think it was taken in one of the rooms in the house, because it's an oval bathtub, but I don't know which room, sir.
Okay. Did you recognize both the girls or just one of the girls?
The 2 girls.
All right. And then there were there was 1 or 2 other photographs of girls that you recognized?
Yes.
Okay. And were they fully unclothed, or did they have some degree of clothes on?
They were naked.
And all of the remaining pictures, at least within that mosaic, were of individuals that you did not know?
No, sir.
And that you did not recognize as having been at the house, is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
You were also asked about some let me switch for just a minute. You were asked about a vibrator that you saw, and I think you described it as a back massager that was approximately 18 inches long, that had a couple of rotating heads on it.
Yes.
And I think you ultimately came up with the idea is it's something that you had seen at like a Sharper Image store?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Have you ever seen one of those types of devices that is a back massager with the rotating heads also? Well, let me ask you this. Strike that last question. Have you ever been to Brookstone?
Yes.
Okay. Have you ever seen a massager like that at Brookstone?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, you were asked whether Miss Maxwell kept the names of any of the girls who came to give massages on. Well, let me ask it this way, because I don't have a full recollection now. I think you were asked whether Miss Maxwell ever kept the names of any of the girls who came to give massages, and I think your response was yes.
Yes.
Okay. Did she keep them on a pad of paper? Did she keep them in a notebook? Did she keep them in a computer?
We used to have internal books
for pilots, masseuses, chefs. So she have a copy of the black book for herself and as well as the computer.
Okay. And did you ever go on Miss Maxwell's computer to see what she had in it?
Yes.
Okay. And was that something that you were allowed to do?
No.
Okay. You actually went in her office?
Yes.
And was her computer on so that you didn't need to access the password?
It was off.
Okay. And so you just turned it on?
Yes, sir.
And then you were able to access her computer?
Exactly.
Right. And what possessed you to go in and to access her personal computer?
I needed to send some documents to the New York office, and it was the only computer working in the house.
Okay. On how many occasions did you use her computer?
Several times.
Was she ever aware that you used her computer?
I don't think so.
Did you ever ask Miss Maxwell for permission to use her computer?
I was the house manager. I believe I was supposed to use everything in the house to accomplish my duties. In that case, sending financial reports or emails.
Okay. And so would you have then, did you ever use Mr. Epstein's computers?
No.
Okay. But you used Miss Maxwell's computer?
Yes.
Did you ever use?
Yes.
And looking at Miss Maxwell's, so you went into Miss Maxwell's computer with the concept, with at least the idea of sending some documents?
Yes.
Up to New York?
Yes.
Right. And were you going to PDF them?
Yes.
And did she have a fax machine, not a fax machine, a copy machine in her office as well?
Yes.
Right. So you were going to go, and how would you generally do that? Would you do that through a Microsoft program?
To Citrix.
Through Citrix, all right. And with the Citrix, and that is, if you said you saw some names of individuals on her computer, if you were just going to PDF some documents up to New York, why would you have, what would have caused you to have seen any names on her computer?
All the calls that they came to 358 El Brillo, they came through a telephone. They have a transcript somehow with some technique to the computer. So you can pull it and you register the time, who called, who didn't call, and you can pull this at your request. So I used to use that to go back to some calls that they were requesting, especially when the hurricane season happened.
Okay, so if I understand you, is that even the computer you used would have had that same feature?
No, it was totally different. Mine was slower and all of the time was breaking down. That's why we have the guy from Ohio came and fixed the computers.
Okay, and were there other computers that you used that had that feature? That is, that would...
No, only Mrs. Maxwell and the staff house.
Staff house being yours?
The guest house, yes, my office, yeah.
Okay, so you could go out to your guest house then and look for the same information?
No.
All right, I don't understand, but why don't we take a break, because we're almost out of tape.
Do you know whether she kept any lists of names of girls to come and give massages?
She didn't.
And do you know in what form she kept those?
She had notes, you know, and she always had papers, but I don't know how.
Do you recall seeing the papers with telephone numbers on them?
A couple of times.
Do you know whether she also kept records on the computer relating to the girls?
Yes, ma'am.
And how do you know that?
Everything was recorded in the computer. Everything we did as employees, we used to record and kept in the internal circuit we used to have among the employees.
And so would it be, if I understand you correctly then, was there some sort of a program so that you could access information putting into that
yes,
program and she could access information you put in?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you also send each other emails that way, or did you use a different program for emails?
Didn't send direct emails to me, but she will call me on her cell. But I was supposed to send to Citrix through the other employees.
Email them through
Yes, ma'am.
Citrix? Okay, and who would those other employees be? Have been, I mean, while you were there?
Mrs. Maxwell, Bella, and in New York, and mostly the money people, Bella and
Leslie, was it?
Leslie, yes, the secretary, and somebody else I don't recall name, but.
And was there anyone else that you could email on?
Well, we couldn't email anybody in the organization. And
on that particular program?
Yes, ma'am.
And so who else would be in that organization?
Other household managers in Paris or the island or Manhattan or.
Do you know what kept any pictures of the young women who would come to give massages on her laptop?
Yes, ma'am.
And you saw those pictures?
Yes.
Were the pictures uniform, and by that I mean were they all taken, for instance, there at the house, so that they would all be fairly standard?
They will be all of it, sometimes out of the country and sometimes in the house.
Were these pictures that were taken by someone for the purpose of keeping them in that program?
I don't know, ma'am.
Or as opposed to, for instance, one of the young ladies bringing a picture to give to me?
I don't know.
You don't know where the pictures came from?
No, ma'am.
Do you know, was there anyone staying in the house who often took pictures of the young women?
There were several cameras in the house, and they were used often, but I don't know who used them.
Okay. Do you remember what kind of cameras they were?
They're the small compact cameras.
And any other kind?
I don't remember them.
Did you ever see using that small compact camera to take a picture of the girls?
Yes, ma'am.
And when you saw her doing that, where were they, the girls?
In the dining room, the library, inside the first floor of the house.
Did you ever see Ms. Maxwell taking pictures of the girls?
No, ma'am.
Did you ever see Mr. Epstein taking pictures of the girls?
No, ma'am.
Were you ever told by anyone that Mr. Epstein sometimes took pictures of the girls?
Yes, ma'am.
And do you recall who told you that? Do you recall what she said about that?
He likes photography and he likes to, it's like a hobby.
Do you know which camera or what kind of camera he used to take those pictures?
No, ma'am.
And you said, I think you never saw him taking them.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, meaning correct.
Yes. I know.
was it your understanding that he took those pictures upstairs?
Yes, ma'am.
And when you had occasion to go upstairs, do you recall seeing camera equipment?
No, ma'am.
Were you ever told that he took pictures of the girls nude?
No, ma'am.
Were you ever told that he liked to have pictures taken of the girls nude?
No, ma'am.
I believe you were asked before in the deposition about the stairway leading from the kitchen upstairs, and whether or not there were pictures on that stairway.
Yes, there were pictures.
And were those pictures, some of them, of nude young women?
Not on the stairway. They were in the foyer, on the second, on the foyer, and the foyer leading to the master bedroom.
I see. Were those, what size generally were those pictures?
They were, I'll say 3 by 5.
So very, very large.
Yes, ma'am.
Pictures. Were there lots of photographs just around the house on top of furniture in the various rooms?
Yes, ma'am.
And were any of those photographs of young women in the nude?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you recognize any of those young women?
Yes, a couple of.
And who was it that you recognized?
And some other girl from Brazil that was in the house, but I don't recall her name.
Was this a girl that would come and stay in the house, or one of the girls that would come and give massages?
They will stay at the house.
Stay at the house. Do you recall a picture of a girl, of a young woman nude in a hammock?
No, I don't remember, ma'am.
Was there surveillance equipment installed in the house?
Yes, ma'am.
And was that already installed when you came there?
Yes, ma'am.
Where is it your well, first of all, did they tell you where the equipment was installed? Did you have any understanding of where the equipment was installed?
No.
Do you know whether or not there was surveillance photography equipment upstairs and downstairs?
Yes, ma'am.
And how do you know that?
I read it through the FBI report after the fact that after I left the job.
Before reading through the FBI report, did you have any knowledge of the fact that there was surveillance equipment both upstairs and downstairs?
No, ma'am.
While you were there, was there ever an occasion when someone came to do any maintenance or repair of surveillance equipment?
Yes, ma'am.
Form the last question.
Pardon? Go on.
Last question.
Did that happen more than one time?
I believe so. Yes, ma'am.
Do you have any recollection of who came there, either the name of the company or the name of the person who would come to repair or do maintenance on the video equipment?
We used to have a young technician from Ohio who used to maintain all the computers, and he would be the only one dealing with those things.
And so he maintained the computers and the video equipment?
Yes.
Correct? Do you have any recollection of what his name was?
I don't remember, ma'am. Well, he came from New Albany, Ohio, but I don't remember his name.
From
New Albany, Ohio.
New Albany, Ohio. And did he have his own business?
No, he worked for Mr. Epstein. He will maintain all the computers.
Was he there every day?
No, ma'am.
Do you know whether at that time Mr. Epstein had an office in Palm Beach?
Not outside the house, ma'am.
Do you have any knowledge of whether or not the video equipment was, and I don't know the technical term, forgive me, but was it the kind of equipment that would record for a certain amount of time and then record over that film?
I don't know what.
You don't know?
No, ma'am.
Okay.
I may have, just for clarification, I may have misunderstood, but I thought he said he didn't even know that video equipment existed until he read the FBI report.
He said he didn't know that it was upstairs and downstairs, I believe.
I thought he said he didn't know that it even existed, but...
I may be wrong. Did you know it existed before you read the
No,
FBI
ma'am.
report?
No.
Okay, I'm sorry, then I was wrong. Well, how did you know then that the young technician from Ohio maintained the computers and the video equipment?
Because we used to request, there were always problems with the computer, so he will come to the house, and he was the programmer, and it was very sophisticated equipment.
For the last question, we'll just strike the answer as non-responsive.
Well, how did you know then that he maintained the video equipment as well?
Because he was in charge of computers, video, even phones.
Would he also repair the televisions if they needed work? No.
Okay, we're back on the record.
Did you receive a subpoena that asked you